If you start under 100, you can still get a complete LEGO experience. The mistake is thinking low budget means low satisfaction. The right first set gives you a clean build flow, a clear display result, and room to learn what you actually enjoy. This guide is a decision tool. It will help you choose one smart first purchase, not a random box that looks good online. We will use a simple filter. Space, time, and your reason for buying decide everything. If you are unsure, that is normal. Many people buy one set, feel overwhelmed, and stop. That usually comes from starting in the wrong lane. Under 100 is where you can test your preferences with low risk. We will focus on sets that build cleanly, look finished, and stay easy to keep on a shelf. By the end, you will have one safe pick and one next step. Think of the Space Astronaut as the reference point for a safe start in this tier. Empathetic. Under 100 looks simple until you see the shelves. There are licensed themes, small display sets, vehicles, and gift sets that all claim to be the perfect start. The real risk is buying a set that does not match how you want to use LEGO. A play-focused set can feel empty on a shelf. A display set can feel slow if you wanted interaction. A technical set can feel repetitive if you wanted color and story. When the first build misses, people blame LEGO. The truth is that the first choice was misaligned. Another common problem is buying two small sets from different lanes, then feeling like neither one fits. Under 100 has a wide range of build styles, even when the price is similar. Your goal is not maximum pieces. Your goal is a first win that makes you want a second set. We will reduce this to a few buyer types and a short list of proven starters. That is why a clear starter like the Space Astronaut or the Bouquet of Roses tends to create a better first experience. The guiding rule is simple. Buy your first under 100 based on the experience you want, not the theme you think you should start with. Experience has three parts: build feel, display feel, and replay value. If you want a calm build, pick a set with clear steps and repeating modules that still change often. If you want an impressive shelf result, pick a model with strong silhouette and stable base. If you want replay, pick something that can be reconfigured or used as a prop. When a set scores well on at least two of these, it becomes a safe first buy. This also improves long-term availability because broadly appealing sets tend to stay easy to find across multiple years. You are building a small personal system. One set teaches you what to buy next. Now we apply the rule to a path you can follow. The Space Astronaut and Tales of the Space Age both score well because they balance build variety with a finished look. Step 1 is choosing your constraint, not your favorite box art. If you have limited shelf space, avoid wide builds that need a permanent footprint. If you have limited time, avoid sets that require long sorting sessions and large repeated surfaces. If you share space with kids or pets, prioritize stable bases and models that can survive a gentle bump. Under 100 is ideal because it lets you learn your preferences without locking you into a theme. Treat this tier as your audition phase. One set now, one direction next. Also decide your tolerance for clutter. Some sets look good only when you have a full scene around them. For a first set, choose something that can stand alone. If you prefer a short build, focus on models that feel complete in one sitting. If you prefer a longer build, choose something with clear stages so you can stop and restart without losing momentum. With that in mind, here are the best starting lanes. For example, Tales of the Space Age works well when you want small separate pieces that can spread across a shelf. Lane 1 is the rebuildable starter. Choose this if you are not sure what you like yet. A good rebuildable set teaches core techniques and gives you multiple endings. It also reduces regret because you can rebuild it in a different form later. The Space Astronaut is a reliable example of this lane. The model is readable from a distance and the build stays varied. The shapes are clean so small mistakes do not ruin the final look. Another strong option is Tales of the Space Age, which gives you 4 small scenes that feel finished on a shelf. This lane is also the easiest to store because you can display one model and keep the rest of the parts together. If you want one purchase that keeps paying you back in skill and satisfaction, this is the lane. Lane 2 is the small display statement. Choose this if you want your first set to look intentional in a room. The goal is a model that does not need a collection around it to look good. It should have clean lines, clear color blocking, and a base that sits well on a normal shelf. The Bouquet of Roses is a strong start for adults because it is compact, stable, and does not compete with other decor. It also teaches gentle shaping without feeling technical. This lane works well for shared spaces because it signals hobby without taking over a table. If you want to relax after work, choose a display set with repeated but small steps so you can stop at any point and still feel progress. If your main motivation is a finished object, not play patterns, start here and use it as your baseline for future choices. Lane 3 is the fast vehicle build. Choose this if you want motion, handling, and a satisfying result in a single evening. Vehicles under 100 work best when the scale is consistent and the model looks correct from the side. This lane is also great for people who like collecting variations without needing more display space each time. The Mercedes-AMG 2 Car Pack gives you 2 complete builds with shared techniques. You get the rhythm of a build, then you repeat it with different details, which is a good learning pattern. You also learn how small parts create shaping and branding without making the build fragile. For a first purchase, vehicles are safer than scene-based sets because they look finished without extra figures or accessories. If you want energy and completion speed, choose this lane and keep your next set in the same scale. Lane 4 is the first technical build. Choose this if you enjoy mechanisms more than characters. A good first technical set should be compact, sturdy, and clear about what it does. You want steering, suspension, or drivetrain elements that are easy to understand as you build. The Ford GT is a good example because it stays within a manageable size while still feeling like a real model. It teaches how Technic structure works without demanding long concentration blocks. You learn bracing, pins, and how to keep a frame square. This lane is best when you can leave the model assembled, because taking Technic apart can feel slower than system sets. If you finish this and want more, you can upgrade to larger engineering builds later without relearning the basics. What not to buy first under 100 is any set that needs you to already love the theme to enjoy it. Small licensed sets can be fun, but many rely on characters, stickers, and play patterns that do not translate into lasting display value. Another trap is buying a set that is mostly large flat surfaces at this price tier, because it can feel repetitive without giving you the payoff of a truly large model. Avoid buying based on piece count alone. Avoid chasing rarity. Avoid buying a set that forces you into a storage problem on day one. Also avoid sets with awkward scale, where the model looks incomplete unless you buy more. Your first set should be a complete experience by itself. If you want a theme later, earn it after you learn your lane. The safest first purchase is the one that fits your space and your time, even if it looks less exciting in the store. If you want a safe standalone model, sets like the Mercedes-AMG 2 Car Pack are usually more complete than small scene kits. Final recommendation is to start with the Space Astronaut if you want one safe first pick that works for most people. It scores well on build feel and display feel, and it stays flexible for rebuilds. If you are clearly display first, choose the Bouquet of Roses instead. If you are clearly vehicle focused, choose the Mercedes-AMG 2 Car Pack. If you are clearly mechanism focused, choose the Ford GT. Pick one lane. Build it fully. Then decide your second purchase based on what you noticed, not what you expected. This turns one small purchase into a long-term plan that stays within your space and your time. Keep your first purchase simple. Do not split the budget across many small boxes. One clear build teaches you more than 3 partial experiences. When you finish, take one photo of the set in its real display spot. That photo becomes your reference for scale and style before you choose the next set. Next step is simple. After your first build, write down 3 facts. How long it took you. Where it will live when finished. What part you enjoyed most. Sorting, building, or finishing. Those 3 facts decide your upgrade path under 200 later. They also prevent impulse buys. If you enjoyed sorting, you can handle more complex part variety. If you enjoyed the final look, you should move toward display lanes. If you enjoyed moving features, you should move toward technical lanes. Save the box or the instructions in a safe place. Rebuilding later is a useful test of long-term enjoyment. If you want more guidance, the next long video on the channel expands each lane with 2 safe follow-ups and 1 set to avoid. If you want the full decision framework and the exact upgrade options from each lane, watch the long guide linked on the channel. Use the next video as a check before you buy the second set. If you started with the Space Astronaut, your next choice becomes clearer because you already know how you felt about the build style.